So guys, what I notice here of my model, in this case, let's go to scope mode by Control Tab down, and then we can see what we can do about this jacket. I think it needs to be a little bit more, a little bit bigger, this distance here, but I can work only on this side because this side is the mirror, so we cannot touch it. You see, I'm trying, but I cannot. So I can work only on this side, and I need a little bit more of polygons here. So I'll press Tab, Control R here, and just, do this. And then I will have a little bit more polygons to work with, which I think is sometimes necessary, not always, but in this case it was a little bit necessary or necessity. So as we can see, yeah, it shouldn't be super huge, this, those shoulders and stuff. They shouldn't be ultra huge, but nonetheless, they should be there. Yeah, probably when we are doing the actual pose, then we will fix some of those things. But for now, let me just increase the size of this collar. I think it should be a little bit bigger and maybe a bit higher. Yes, higher color. All right, looks nice. Now, what do we need now is to connect these mustaches with the head. I need them to be one with the head. I will probably not connect the ears or the hair, but I need to connect those at least. So how to do this? First, it's very important to apply the modifiers of those things. So Control Tab to see what modifiers we have. So we have a mirror modifier. We can apply it by clicking to this little button here, or Control A. But if you're gonna press Control A, your mouse has to be here on the modifiers. If your mouse is here on this window, Control A will not gonna work exactly. Although from here, all transforms, no, Control A here will not work. Here should work. Let's say Control A. Okay, I applied this one. Solidify, yes, Control A. And subdivision. Or if you don't want to Control A, you can just click here and apply. Click this little tiny arrow and apply. And now we have applied all the modifiers. Here we don't have modifiers, and we can join those two meshes together. The idea here is that if you have modifiers on one of the meshes and you join them, there is a possibility that these modifiers will be applied at the joined mesh, which sometimes you don't want, especially if there is a subdivision modifier. And if we apply subdivision modifier on this mesh, which already is kind of heavy, it's not super heavy, but subdivision modifier on this mesh will definitely make our computer laggy, especially with 3 subdivisions like this was here. So we apply them first, and then when they are no longer modifiers, we don't have modifiers on this mesh too, we can either select them like this, or Control or Shift select them. So select one, Shift select the other one, and then press Control J to join them, or right click and join. Control J or right click, and when you right click, you can see your here Control C, Control V is copy paste, Shift D is duplicate, duplicate linked is Alt D. So when you duplicate with Alt D, then all those duplicates will be linked to the first one, and when you change the first one, they will change too. By the way, we can try that. Let's just try that. Let's try. So Alt D, okay, Alt D, place it here, Alt D, place it here, Alt D, place it here, and then we go to the first one and we change it, and you see how they all change. This is, by the way, it's, we will not use it, but it could be useful. So I will select them with Shift now, X, delete, and we're done. I just wanted to show you what is happening. We don't need to use that, but we have joined those meshes, and now we go to scope mode. That's how I completely join them. When I go to scope mode and then I go Shift R, or in the newest version it might be just R, as I said, but Shift R in this case, and I go low. So if I go high, like this for example, high number of, not high number, but bigger polygons, let me show you what will happen with this big polygons, for example. 0.03, Control R, and it's okay, but still there is a possibility that here we will have problems, but we don't. So Control Z, and I will go a little bit higher, so 0.01 will be fine for us, and Control R. Now I can go and very easily I make sure I have symmetry here on X, and then I go and easily smooth, so it seems like it's coming from the skin, kind of. It's not a separate object, but it's coming from a same object, which is great. I'm moving with my grab brush, and yeah, now I will smooth the other parts too. Here around the nose I smooth very slightly because I don't want to lose the details on the nose, although I probably will work more on the nose at some point, but I don't want to lose the details completely. Here around the mouth, I need the mouth to be very clean inside. I don't want those, it was not very clean, it was dirty mouth, you know. But yeah, the idea is that I want it to be a bit cleaner inside the mouth, and I will put a tongue inside the mouth too, which I will color like he has here, a tongue which is pink. Yeah, we can color it pink or red or whatever, but the idea is that we need to have something like a tongue at some point. So as you can see, this mesh is not very clean. What do I mean by that? Let me just drag this here a little bit so he is smiling more naturally. Also this thing here, I think we can put them a little bit together with the move brush, or the grab brush in this case, with G. So our grab brush is G and we are grabbing. Now I'm using the brush which we put on the tree, which is the scrape peaks, I think. Yeah, I don't know why smooth is saying smooth here, but I'm using the scrape peaks brush, and sometimes I'm smoothing with Shift. The idea is that I want this to be a straight line as much as possible. I don't want it to be wavy. So all the waviness I see, I'm trying to fix them with a little grab brush and just pushing and pulling from the right angles. And that's, by the way, the story of your life gonna be when you are making characters. You need, especially for the stylized ones, to have clean geometry, clean meshes. And sometimes you need to do it by hand, just flattening some areas with the scrape peaks brush and doing other areas. Otherwise, there is another way, by the way. It's not only like this. You can do it in other way, which includes, by the way, using this plugin, Quad Remesh. With Quad Remesh, we can remesh on the low subdivision this head, and I will show you, by the way, how it works. We will not use it because I don't want to use in this beginner course paid add-ons. It's not fair. So we can just try it, just to show you how it works. Now for this head I would like the count to be, let me first rename it. So this will be head. I will name it here in the right upper corner. I will name it head. Just double click on the mesh itself here and name it head. So this is head. Okay. Now when I remesh it from this add-on, I have to turn on X. Then it will make a copy, and it will remesh the copy, and the head itself, it will remain. So we will be able to delete the copy and be left with the head. But now, in my case, I think this will be good in about 150, 1500, I mean, and then I will just remesh it. Now, this will remesh the head in a way that it will follow the forms, which is very, very nice. As you can see, our polygons are following the forms. So the polygons are following the smile here, following here, not the nose itself because we don't have too much polygons, but here also they are following the forms. And this is great. This is great remesh, and this remesh even can be used for game mesh, for example. It can be used for a low poly because this quad remesher is a very good tool, but we will not use it, as I said. Now I will just go retopo head and delete it by pressing X. I deleted it, and now since the other head is just hidden, I will just turn it on. Because what this quad remesher does is it hides the high poly and it shows only the low poly that it creates. But as I said, we will not use it. I'm just showing it to you. So now here I see I have problems, so I will inflate and then smooth, and those kind of bumps and issues you can easily fix by just smoothing. And then if something you need to, for example, if I smooth here but I need a corner, I will go with my draw sharp brush and try to make the corner, then smooth again a little bit, but very tiny. And at some point I can even flatten with Scrape Peaks brush here, which is our brush number 3, because we put the shortcut to 3. And yeah, we can do this. The idea is that as a 3D, this should look good from all angles. So we have to constantly rotate and, you know, try to see it from all angles and try to make it look nice, at least nice. Maybe not the best, but it's nice. So now it looks fine. It probably will need one more pass, one more remesh. But now I will try to make the nose. Let's see the nose, how it looks. So the nose is a little bit smaller than I did it. So it will go a bit like this. Okay, a bit sharper on the angles here. And the nostrils themselves will be here. Yeah, the nose is very important because it's one of the few details on the face, and if it's not done right, it will the whole face will not look right. So we need the nose to be looking relatively good. That is a very, very big thing for us. I will increase the size of the head on the back, and he's falling where, on the back or on the front now? Let me see him from the side view. He's falling a little bit backwards now, yeah. He's falling backwards. Maybe I can move, yeah, because when I 3D print it, and if it doesn't have a base, something like this, for example, I usually put a base like this. I usually put a base on my models because this one, for example, is very top heavy and it will definitely fall somewhere if it doesn't have a base. But for this rabbit, we can go without a base if we make the feet bigger and if we manage to make it exactly, you know, the right. But either way, whatever we do, it will always be very easy to fall if we don't have a base. So definitely we will have a base when we 3D print it at some point. So, what do we need to do rest on this model? So, we need colors, of course, but we are far from colors yet, because we need more detail on some areas. We need thickness on those patches here. We need thickness on those two. We need to, yeah, we need to fix what was this? The shorts. Yeah, we need to put the details on the shorts. We need to put details everywhere. We need to color the eyes. By the way, I tried coloring the eyes just outside the camera. Oh, it was awful. It didn't went well. So we have to figure out a way how to color them correctly. Now I'm just going in sculpt mode, Alt Q, clicking on some areas and just making sure they look as good as possible. By the way, if you're wondering, my OBS crashed. I'm recording, by the way, with OBS, which is a free recording software, and sometimes it just crashes. but it's not very often, so it's fine. So I will solidify this one. Solidify. And then what I want to do, I go to edit mode and I will select the bottom part here and extrude it inward. Let's see if this will help us, because I want it to be like a real tongue of a shoe. Hopefully we'll be able to make something like a real tongue, although obviously it's not gonna work that well. But now I'm gonna just put it inside. Yeah, I'm just working here and trying my best. Let's go to the shoe itself in sculpt mode and just push it down a bit. And here we need to have something like shoelaces. It will be just probably part of a torus. We'll see. But first, let's make solidify for this. Increase the solidify a lot, not so much. Yeah, we need it to be solid, but not ultra solid. Solidify is important, by the way. For all the purposes, it's important. Here I will erase the mask of the shoe, because we still had the mask from previous things where we extrude it. I'm trying to select this front part. Yeah, I did it at the end with Alt Q, but sometimes something happens and some meshes you cannot select them with Alt Q that easy. And then you have to go back to object mode, select them, and then go back to sculpt mode and sculpt. But it's a rare occasion. It's not super, frequent, so it's fine. Let's put another solidify modifier on this and just increase it. Oops. So let's delete the solidify modifier. Let's see on which mesh we are. Okay, this was not the mesh that I intended to do this. So this is the mesh, solidify modifier, and increase the thickness at least to some extent. But if you increase it too much, as you can see, it will come down, which is not our goal. But it's not a problem for us. We will fix it. It's not an issue. This is fine. So, yeah, we have everything under control. Let's fix the teeth, by the way. They don't look quite well. So, for the teeth, what I will do is I will go to the teeth themselves, go to edit mode on the teeth, and then I will delete some of the things. So, the top and the bottom, I will X faces. I will delete them. Also, I will go from the side view and delete the back polygons. I don't need them, those back polygons. X faces. Because I need only the front polygons. And that will be enough for me. Then I will add a solidify modifier. And make sure they are pretty thick. Like this. At least like this. And now they look more like teeth. Before they didn't look exactly like teeth. Now they look a little bit more like teeth. But more. We need to put our subdivision surface modifier. Increase the levels of the subdivision surface modifier, the viewport levels, and then we go, of course, to the solidify modifier to edge data and increase the crease inner and crease outer at least to 0.39, something like this. No more than this. Don't increase it more than this. And then we close the edge data on the solidify modifier. Then we go back to our head and we continue working on this so it's not so wavy. Yeah, I'm jumping from something to something because because I need to do this. I will just push this up. Let me see if I push this up like this. Yeah, I think it's a little bit better if I push it and then push this portion up. It looks more Disney style or something, like a rabbit. It looks interesting. Exactly, yeah, it's cool. So here we can even go and add Control R. Just at least one edge loop, because you see, when we have this kind of very long polygons, it's not good. It's not good for anything. But if we put one more polygon there, it will just hold the polygons much better, and that's a good thing for us. That's better. Let's go and make shoelaces. So for the shoelaces, we will go to our object mode and make so as you can see, I always zoom in, out, rotate and pan. This you know, I'm doing it very fast and without any issue. For you probably it will be more with issue, but that's the thing you have to learn, because I told you this is the most important thing in a 3D software. You have to learn how to rotate, how to move, how to pan. This in order to learn them, you don't have to just try it once. You have to do it constantly, until you stop thinking about it. It's like driving a manual car, for example. Because in the beginning, when you start driving a manual transmission car, you always will have to take off your attention, part of your attention on the road, and think about how to change gears. Where's the first, where's the second, where's the third, how to press the pedals and stuff. But after some time, after some practice, after some hours of practice, then you stop thinking about this, because you start doing it automatically, and you think about the road ahead, you think about the pedestrians, where somebody will come, or is this kid gonna run after his ball that just came out of in front of the car, and stuff like this. You will start to pay attention more on your work in the 3D software instead on how to rotate the camera and stuff. But in the beginning, don't be you know, frustrated that you have to always think how to rotate, how to zoom in and out. This is normal in the beginning. At some point you will stop thinking about this and concentrate on the important stuff. But in the beginning, the important stuff is to learn and to get this on in your head, how to rotate and move and always adjust your model in the perfect way so you can work more efficiently and nice. So what I was about to do is shoelaces, and my idea is to do the following. So I will do one torus. So Shift A, Mesh, Torus is here on the bottom, and I press it. This torus is too much, probably it's too much polygons, so let me just see what we'll do here. So 48 is too much, let's try 24, okay. And this segment's probably around 9 will be enough. Yes, this is for our purpose, will be fine. So I'll press Tab to go to edit mode, move it down, rotate it. I don't need to rotate it on some particular angle, I just want it like this, and then I will delete half of it at least. Let me delete half of it, like this. X faces. And here we have more faces, but let's go to faces by pressing 3 on the keyboard, and then X faces. And now this, let's go to edit mode, press A to select everything, make it smaller, but be careful not to, you know, turn it. Just make it smaller and try with G or with those arrows here to position it relatively correctly and put it around here like this. So this will be our thing, our shoelace, we may say. Yeah, in this case it's a little bit round, and I'm not sure if this position here, if this space here should be that round. Probably it should be more flat. So let's go back to scope mode and flatten this area a little bit. Not too much though, flatten it a little bit. It's important to be a little bit more flat, not ultra flat, we don't need it. And then I will flatten this also with the grab brush. Yes. So now I will need those yellow things on the side to be a little bit thicker. So this shoelaces will go inside those thick things. Hopefully it will happen as we want it. And then I like to push it down like this, a little bit more flat, and this will be one of our shoelaces. I'm trying to make it from the top view to be kind of flat, and it should work. Now I go to Tab and then G move it forward. I will place it here, rotate it a little bit, and this will be one of the shoelaces. Let's Shift D and put another one here, maybe lift it up a little bit. We will adjust them, and we need no more than 4 of them probably. So 3, 4, maybe one for mama 5. One for daddy, one for mama, one for auntie, and stuff like this. So now I will adjust them with my grab brush. So make sure your grab brush has the topology turned on. What I mean by that is, if we go to tools in here, so there's two ways to go to the tools. Either you go here in this active tool and workspace settings, and this will give you the tools for the brush, and you go to advanced and click topology on, or you press N, you go to tool and go to advanced and press topology on. This will allow you to move separately each mesh in your mesh, the individual mesh in your mesh, we may say. So when they're here, if you haven't moved those meshes inside the object mode, you probably will be able to go and add a mirror modifier, and they will be perfectly here. If you have moved them in object mode, not only in edit mode, then you probably would have to go object mode, shift control A, and all transforms, and then the mirror modifier should work. I know I've said that a couple of times now, but since this is a course for beginners, I'm trying to repeat everything a lot. So as you can see, I'm going back to sculpt mode by control tap down, and now I'm having a lag here. Why? It's usually because of the mirror. If I disable the mirror modifier, the lag is still a little bit there, probably because of the subdivision modifier. Yeah, the modifiers usually, especially the subdivision modifier and the mirror modifier, if we have a lot of subdivisions in the subdivision modifier, for example, then it starts to lag sometimes. So we have to be careful about that. Let me turn on both modifiers and increase. Yeah, it's lagging for me a little bit when I do that. I have to save, by the way, into 12. And now we have to finish this video because it's too long already. It's above 30 minutes already, so we need to finish it. But I'm just, you see, I'm just with the big grab brush, I'm just adjusting this so we can see the sole of the shoe a little bit better from the sides and from all sides. This, I think it's better and it looks interesting. It has some detail, so it's fine. Probably we need to make those shoes a little bit more triangular, but we'll see. We can change the things after we do them. Of course, it's a little bit more difficult than in the beginning. That's why beginning phase is so important, because when we are making our meshes and they are still low poly meshes, it's very much easier to move them and manipulate them, because after it's not that easy, obviously. So see you in the next video, where we will probably do some stuff on the jacket, because the jacket now looks a little bit out of hand, and the pants also, we need to do some stuff on them too. So yeah, let's do this.